Hi everyone, this is Zachary Lloyd showing off the top-down shooter for GPE 340. Um, in this project, it's going over mainly AI. So, the first thing that I want to explain is the navmesh where the enemy can walk on. So over here in the scene window, you can see the blue is where they can walk. They can basically go anywhere. The only places that they can't go is right next to the boxes because I don't want them running into it, and also under the ramps because I don't want them hiding under the ramps. Um, the enemy navigating to the player is the next thing that I want to show. So if I move, the enemy comes after me and he kills me. The enemy does use root motion to move. It's a tiny bit wonky, but right here you can see that it's applying root motion through the animator. There's a couple tweaks that I need to make to polish it up, and that piece will be completely done, but for the most part it works. The enemy moves to the player, the enemy shoots the player, the enemy uses root motion. The enemy also does equip the weapon. As you saw, he did shoot, and the enemy right here in stats has a starting weapon of the AK, and then once we spawn in, it goes to the weapon equipped, and he's holding it up here. Um, the next thing is the enemy ragdoll. You already saw that the player ragdolled, but let's show that the enemy ragdolls. Eventually he'll die. There he goes. Alright, he ragdolls, and then he waits for a timer, and boom, he's dead. And then for spawning over time, I'm going to turn this one on, turn this guy off. And then he spawns right here. Alright, well, he's not dying, but he usually does. He'll die. And then, actually, he might be dying. He's just waiting for the time, in all honesty. Um, but in here, we're waiting for the time to go back out, and we'll respawn once he's dead. Obviously, he's not dying for some reason. I'll have to fix that. But he was. Uh, and the gizmo right here is for the on draw gizmo. That is the spawn point. That's where they will spawn. Let's go into the code a little bit and show how the dude moves. So here's his ragdoll. Basically, we're going to unequip the weapon, and then we're going to set the animator false, the controller false, turn on the rigid bodies, and turn on the colliders that are related for the ragdoll effect, and we're going to turn it to true at the very end. Let's show the code for the on gizmo draw. The on gizmo draw is right here. I picked the color red just because it's an easy color to see. Then we're going to draw a sphere on the transform where the spawn points are at a radius of 1. this is where the enemy will shoot right here. So once we get into the AI shoot state and we are in the shooting distance, the enemy will shoot based off of the weapon that is equipped. It will use the variables based on damage and fire rate and how much ammo they have based off of the weapon. Um, the spawn over time, so if spawning isn't full, this is where we're going to do our time. This is where we're going to check if we have the max amount of actors spawned. This is where we're actually going to spawn the actor. This is where we're going to manage the list of what is in the game and what is not, what needs to come in. This is the spawn cycle, so we're going to check if it's maxed. If spawning isn't full and the time is greater than the spawn rate, then let's spawn the object. Enemy equips weapon. Where's this? Where did I put that? Oh, alright. So, right here is where we're going to equip the weapon. We're going to go through our weapons in our inventory. If the weapon is not equal to null, then we're going to equip the weapon. The enemy also is supposed to go and get a weapon if they don't have one, which is in here. But I turned it off because I was having issues with the target not switching to the player after it goes after the weapon. So I turned it off and I just gave them a weapon to start with. The movement part, once I find it, is right here. So we are going to go through right here and use the navmesh to set a destination to move the target or move to the target, and by doing so we are using the animator right here. I believe that is about everything for Project 3. As you could see, the everything for Projects 1 and 2 was also in there. The character moved and is animated. The camera was tracking the player. The player has UI health that takes damage, and it updates based on the damage that you take. And then destroyable objects on death. So after they ragdoll for a couple seconds, it'll let you see that they're laying on the ground, and then after the time passes, they will be destroyed. Thank you for watching.